everyone! So it is officially spring, which means the flowers are blooming, it's finally getting warm out, and everybody's getting sick. Luckily, I've never had allergies that are too bad, but I do seem to get a cold for about a week every single spring without fail. And my roommate has been keeping me up all night long, hearing his coughing through the wall, so I know it is only a matter of time until I am sick as well. So today, I thought that I would share 3 DIYs that you can do if you have allergies or if you have a cold, which very well might be right now for a lot of you. Now, all 3 of these ideas came from Pinterest. I'm just gonna kinda test them out for you, so let's just go ahead and see if they work. So, even though I live in LA right now, I don't actually drive. I don't have a car, but for the couple months when I did have a car, about a year ago, the worst thing was driving when you are sick. Driving takes enough concentration on its own, but if you had sneezing and getting snot everywhere, it can actually be kind of scary. So when I saw this pin, I thought it was so smart because you can keep your tissues right there in your cup holder. You don't have to be fumbling around for a tissue box or anything. So I don't usually go to coffee shops because I don't drink coffee, but I did go out and buy some tea just so I could get an extra cup for this project. So I took the top and I cut a large circle out, and then the edge seemed a little bit sharp and seemed like it might snag on the tissues, so I just covered it in small pieces of tape. And then I put that aside and I grabbed the actual cup. Now this part is optional, but I want to make it look cute and not just like a coffee cup, so I decided to cover it in this polka dot washi tape. However, the washi tape is pretty transparent, so first I'm going to cover it in white tape, and then when that's done, I'll just go over the entire thing with the washi tape, and now I have a really cute polka dotted cup. And so I just grabbed a handful of tissues from the tissue box and I put them into the cup, pulling the corner of the top tissue up through the top. And now it looks just like the pin. Success! Right? Well, I brought it out to my roommate's car to test it out, and the first tissue came out okay, but even though I taped the cup to the cup holder, it was really hard to get the next tissue out, and it kind of requires 2 hands, which kind of defeats the point of having it there when you're driving. I think it might actually be just a little bit easier to take a normal tissue box and just keep it in your lap while you're driving if you're really, you know, that sick and germy and snotty and gross. I do think this is a really cute idea, but since it takes a little bit of effort to get the tissue out, I don't actually think it's very practical for driving. So anyway, craft number 2, if you want a fun way to carry around some tissues, a cute little pouch like this is all over Pinterest. Just take a piece of felt, and I chose a fun patterned felt so that I didn't have to sew on any extra embellishments. Fold up a tissue and then cut out a piece of felt that's a little larger in each direction than the tissue. And now fold up each side so that they slightly overlap in the middle, and use a pin to hold it in place on both sides. Thread a needle with embroidery thread and then just sew up the edge about 1/4 inch in. You don't have to do any fancy stitches here, just a simple straight stitch up and then back down. And then do the same thing on the other side, and that's it. Now you can fold up a few tissues, put them inside, and you have a really cute way to always have tissues on hand in your purse. So, verdict, this one does work. However, it's probably best for when you're not actually sick, because I could only fit about 5 tissues in here, which, if you actually have a cold, you're gonna go through in no time at all. So this one is better for if you're not actively sick and you just want to have a few tissues on hand just in case. But for that purpose, it works great, and it actually doesn't only have to be used for tissues. You could attach some sort of clasp to the front, and then you could use it as a coin purse or to hold whatever small little knickknacks you can think of. Or you could use it for totally different uses. For example, it could make a really cute pillow for a doll, or if your siblings are being annoying, you could treat it as a beanbag and throw it at them. Please note that I am not responsible for if you get in trouble for throwing things in the house. This is also a really good beginner's sewing project for kids because it's literally only 2 stitches and just a really simple straight stitch, so it's not intimidating, and you can use it for all kinds of different things. And now for our third craft. This one uses an empty tissue box because you're probably going to accumulate a couple of these by the time you're done being sick. So I looked up a few ideas of what you can do with this type of cardboard, and I really liked the idea of making a circular cardboard loom to make friendship bracelets. So just cut off the side of the tissue box and trace a circle onto it, and then mark the center of the circle as well as 8 evenly spaced lines. This doesn't have to be totally perfect, you can just kind of eyeball it. So now cut out the circle and cut out a smaller circle in the middle, and then cut along each line almost to the center but not quite. Now you're going to need 7 colors of embroidery thread. Cut a piece of each color that is 24 inches long and then knot all of the ends together. And now put the knot through the center of your circle and tape it down. Separate out all of the string and put one through each notch of the cardboard, leaving one notch empty. Okay, so now it is time to make the bracelet. Hold it so that the empty notch is in front of you, and then count up the side 1, 2, 3. Take the 3rd string and move it down to the empty notch, and then rotate the cardboard so that the new empty notch is in front of you, and do it again. Keep doing this over and over and over and over and over, and soon you'll have a friendship bracelet. After you've done the first handful of stitches, you can remove the tape from the back, and then as you work you can see your friendship bracelet growing from the back of the circle. This is a really great craft to do to keep your hands busy as you watch endless hours of trashy TV, which, let's be honest, it's the best part of being sick. So once the bracelet is as long as you want, remove it from the cardboard circle and then tie another knot on the other end. And now you can just tie it around your wrist, or you could add a charm, or you could add a clasp like I did so that I could easily take it on and off. So verdict, this one does actually work, and I really like the rope-like quality of the bracelet. I've never been great at string crafts, this is why I've never really taken up knitting, but I was kind of rushing to finish it so I could finish this video, so I'm sure that if I was actually sick and had all the time in the world, mine would look a little more perfect. Also, my cardboard loom ended up a little beat up by the time I finished the one bracelet, so I would recommend making a new one for each bracelet, but you can get a couple of these out of each tissue box, so I would still call this a win of a project. So you could make a whole bunch of these in all kinds of colors, and then give them to all your friends so that they don't forget about you while you're stuck on your couch being sick, and they're never going to invite you to hang out with them ever again. I may get a little overdramatic when I'm sick. So anyway, I hope you guys liked this episode of Karen vs. Pin, which is a totally original name that I definitely did not steal from anyone. So let me know in the comments if you have any other craft projects or life hacks that you like to do when you've got the sniffles. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all again next week with another DIY. Bye everyone!